Hi, welcome back to our tutorial series on how to use Adobe Fresco. Last time we did a very quick introduction to the user interface, to the brushes, and just a basic guide for how to use the program. Today we want to go over the animation tools and just a simple guide for how you can get started animating. So here you can see, I'm just here on the home screen. We have our little document from our introduction with all the swirly colors up here in the center under my files, but what we're going to do is just create a new one. So I'm just going to do a square. I don't need it printed, so I don't have to worry about resolution. Because it is an animation, I'm not printing it. What I want to do is begin with some kind of a shape to animate. If you are doing something on a theme, if you're doing something for a specific project, obviously this may vary. One of the most important things in animating in this particular program is you want to make sure that you're keeping your layers straight. So if you have one object that you want to move on its own, then it needs to be on its own layer. So on the right hand side, you can see that I have two layers here, this white background square and a clear layer on top. I'm just going to draw a little, I actually don't like that shape. Let me change my brush. I'm going to go for a basic hard round brush. I'm going to increase the size of it a little bit. And I just have a cute little wobbly circle shape. If I wanted a more specific circle shape, you can do that too, but it doesn't need to be that serious. So I have my little circle shape. Down on the right-hand side, we have what looks like 3 circles and a play button. It's right above the ruler on the lower right-hand corner of your screen. So if you tap that, you see a couple of options come up. So we have, number one, we have the frame that we're working with. So the first way that we can do it is just by moving our object frame by frame. So if you hit the plus, you get another clear, transparent frame that pops in, and you can draw whatever you want to on the top. If you want to have the shape transform, you can have it slightly different on your second frame of your animation. I've scribbled him in, and now if I play it, we see it going back and forth. Under settings, you can adjust how many frames a second. I'm going to decrease that so it's not moving quite so quickly. The playback is a loop, which means it's just going to start over again when it's finished. Onion skins are actually a really cool option, and it shows the other layers kind of grayed out. You can toggle that on or off. It's set to be 3 frames of onion skins. I do like this because then you can see where your movement has come from and where it's going to. And you can also change the opacity of that onion skin. You can sort of see it right now with my second blobby circle. It's a little bit lighter. You can turn that off if you don't like it. That's just a personal preference thing for me. But now if we play it, it's going to move a little bit slower and we can see that jump between the two. And of course you can animate this in whatever way you choose. You also have the option if you tap, hang on. If you tap on the icon for the frame itself, you can duplicate the frame, you can clear the frame, delete it, copy it. Duplicating is good if you want certain elements to remain the same in the next frame, or if you want to just change it a little bit more slightly. I can duplicate this frame, and then on frame 2, I can use my move tool and just move it a slight bit. I'm gonna hit done, and I'm gonna add just a little bit of the drip that comes in here. So you can do the in-betweens a little bit more gradually. And of course, I'm just doing this in very shaky, crummy looking things, but it doesn't really matter. And you see you have now a frame between. Now, this really is up to you the way that you want to do it. You can see the onion skins behind. This is just frame by frame animation. You can do it by hand. You have a lot more control about the way things transform. The second method is to do animation on a path in which the program will actually do the in-betweens for you and set it along a motion path. So what I'm going to do is actually hide this layer, turn off my animation. I'm going to add another layer in. I'm going to change my color so that we can see the difference between what it is I'm working on. I'm just going to go for a nice bright blue here. What we're going to do this time is animate along a path instead. So same thing, I'm just going to start with a little wonky, this time we're going to start with a wonky shaky oval. Again, all of this depends on your own preference and what it is you're doing. You can use the shape tool to draw more perfect shapes. I'm just doing this for the sake of demonstration and time. So now that I have my shape set up, I'm going to select my animation tools back. The reason that I hide it while I'm working on it is just for my own brain so that I know I'm not animating. Again, this is a preference thing. You can hide and show them as you choose. So I have my animation tools open. This time we're going to select down at the bottom of the screen in the center, the path button. So now on the right hand side, we've seen a window just expand for layer properties. You can adjust the blending mode, you can adjust the rotation, the sway. What I really want to add here is under speed options, there's one that says ease in and out. I really like that for movement because I think it makes it look a little, I don't know, or a little more organic, a little bit smoother. This is just, again, a personal preference thing. You can do what you choose. You can also set the number of frames for how long you want the animation to be. So I'm going to hit ease in and out, and you see an X just popped up, and we have path coming up here. What I'm going to do now is actually go in and draw my path. So I've minimized my screen a little bit. I've pinched to make it smaller, and now I'm actually going to draw my motion path from this X. So it begins here, and I have 48 frames in which it's going to move all the way around. And I'm just making a crazy little motion path here. So it begins there and ends there. Perfect. And now, as we can see, this is how my object is going to move. And it just did all those in-betweens for me. If you like, you can mess with the rotation, you can mess with the multiples, you can make it grow and shrink, you can mess with really whatever it is you're looking for that to happen. You can make it sway or spin. I kind of like a spinning rotation. All of this would be very, very useful for a bouncing ball animation, classic first animation project, all of these things, but this is just the way the tools work. So you do have two options as you're going in. Both are awesome and very helpful depending on the kind of animation that you're trying to produce. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'm happy to go through them.